Let me take you back to October 1st, 2013, 1 p.m. Central European Time. It was 2 weeks, 2 playthroughs and 100% completion after the launch of GTA 5. I was in college, finding a VPN so I could access Twitch and watch streams of this new online game that had just launched, Grand Theft Auto Online. My eyes widened as I saw the game in front of me. Is what I would have said if every stream wasn't having numbers of issues connecting to the game and suffering one of the worst online launches up until that time. I've always been a passionate GTA fan, playing through all the games more times than I'd like to admit, but after playing the
Simba the Zeeman
server in Multi-Theft Auto San Andreas, which is a GTA San Andreas multiplayer mod, I knew what I wanted out of an official GTA multiplayer game. This server had a functional economy, missions, free roam PvP, the ability to buy cars, and apparently also stand on the pirate ship to generate money, which, sounds rather familiar, doesn't it? It's exactly what I wanted to have out of a GTA multiplayer, so when Rockstar finally announced GTA Online, they didn't just pique my interest, they had my full-blown attention. What followed was a game no one, and even Rockstar themselves, expected to last for the next 10 years. GTA Online didn't just change Rockstar, it changed the industry as a whole. The notoriously bad launch of GTA Online, many changes, good and bad, is stuff I've covered extensively over the years. I highly recommend checking out the playlist on the history of GTA Online here. But I think if there's one thing that undoubtedly be one of the things that GTA Online will be looked at, is that it was the first, if not one of the first, AAA games that went the route of free DLCs with optional microtransactions. Because when GTA Online launched, $15 for a Call of Duty map pack was still the norm. My day one experience wasn't too bad. I was lucky I managed to get in after a few attempts to complete the tutorial race, which wasn't the same for everyone, sadly.
I could not play that day because the servers were just so terrible. The game at launch was just an absolute disaster. You couldn't connect into anything. Servers just kept constantly crashing, and you were stuck in an endless cloud screen. I think the cloud screen is bad now. Cloud screen was 10 times worse back then when the game first launched.
I didn't play on console. I got GTA 5 when it came to PC. I didn't have much of an interest in GTA Online, and I largely avoided it, playing it the smallest amounts for many years. It's probably only in the last 2 years that I've played a significant amount of GTA Online.
It's pretty clear this game was not optimized to run on PlayStation 3. Our PlayStations got so hot that my friend and I had to put them in the fridge to cool them down. I'm not joking.
GTA Online at launch just felt like this one-of-a-kind experience that I never have experienced before. Sure, I've played GTA 4 multiplayer a bunch, but it was just always kind of missing more stuff to do, if that makes sense.
Suddenly, we were just able to go into a lobby with our friends and go around the map that we'd been playing in single player, get our own cars. Got videos from back then of like me and my friends chasing down a $9,000 bounty because it was a lot of money back then. It was just a wow factor being able to just link up like that.
There obviously was hardly any content back then, but the content that it did have was new to everyone. All the contact missions, death matches, the properties to save up for and buy, and just ranking up and progressing through the game and unlocking all the weapons. That was all a brand new experience in GTA. And that's on top of getting to play in the then 2-week-old world with friends messing around. It was nothing but good times.
It seemed like a boring grind, and I didn't really understand why anyone would enjoy it if they didn't have friends who also played it.
There was a bit of an overwhelming what now feeling, given everyone came from single player where content was being provided to you constantly, like in the form of missions or stranger missions. This seemed very watered down.
Over the years, GTA Online has definitely had its ups and downs to me, but in some ways my opinion has kinda always stayed the same. It's a one-of-a-kind game that you'll be hard-pressed to find anything like it. And as the years went on, I became less and less nostalgic about the game. Every new anniversary I just kinda look at it like, well, it's a year older, so what? Where's GTA 6? Partly because of the infrequency of the DLCs nowadays, and just the lack of goals that the game has left for me, aside from career challenges I suppose. I'd honestly would have not played the game as much as I have if it wasn't for YouTube and Twitch. Also, shout out to all the job makers in GTA Online. The game would have been very dead years ago without a content creator.
Overall, I would say my opinions on the game have gotten a bit more on the negative side, especially as of recently with some of the decisions they've made, like taking the cars away from the websites to create FOMO, as just one example. I don't like that at all. At the same time though, I think GTA Online does serve the same purpose as it did many years ago, where you can just mess around with friends doing the most random stuff. And I'd argue even more so now than it was with the tons more content that it has. And in that regard, my opinion hasn't changed about the game.
Over the years, I think GTA Online has been, I think of the phrase, it's like a love-hate relationship, but an abusive relationship. Both ways, probably.
A game that was meant to just be casual fun with friends when it launched has now turned into a massive slogfest and a massive grind, which would be awesome if Rockstar could release content more often, but because they're clearly working on other projects, only getting 2 pretty small updates a year doesn't really cut it if you want to play this game a couple times a week.
When it first launched, I thought that it was a buggy, broken mess, but when they released it on the PS4 and Xbox One version, I actually really liked the first person, and I liked the updated graphics, but I really enjoyed it the most when they actually started adding the heist. And then later that year when they brought in VIPs and the yachts, I got really excited, and it got even better with the businesses. I thought that GTA Online was heading in a really good direction, and I really did like it. But when the game started getting really futuristic, like with the Doomsday heist, and then they added the Oppressor Mark II, I just felt like GTA Online was getting away from its roots. I felt like it was getting away from the crime aspect of the game. GTA Online, I think, has been improving in recent years. I think it's gotten much better. I think Cayo Perico is definitely a step in the right direction. It focused on the crime aspect of that again. And we also got the contract update bringing back Franklin. So I think that GTA Online has gotten better ever since we started getting the futuristic stuff.
I love GTA 5 Online. I hope we get another 10 years of GTA 5.
Casino Heist has to be my favorite because it just reignited my passion for the game that I had lost for a while. There's so many different ways of how you can approach this heist, which just make it interesting, and all of their different ways are actually viable to do, unlike with the Cayo Perico heist or any of the other heists, because generally speaking, all the other heists are typically just do it this way or do it no way. Whereas with Casino Heist, even though it kind of still is the same heist, the whole vibe of everything is just different, which I just personally really enjoy.
The casino heist is everything what they've learned about heists put together, and in my opinion, the best update in that sense.
Learning each of the approaches for the first time and playing through them was one of the best times I've had on GTA Online, and helping people speedrun through it now is still something that I enjoy more than any other heist in the game.
Honestly, I think it would have to be Cayo Perico, because I just like the idea of finally getting a new area in the game. A new island, a heist that I had some fun with, right? I'm not saying it was a perfect release or that it's perfect in any sense of the word, but I thought it was pretty good.
Cayo Perico took the original heist and even the casino heist and just vastly improved on it. And now you can actually do an entire heist solo, which is what players have been asking for a very long time.
And unless they add another new location, I don't see anything topping it.
Ultimately, I would have to say my favorite DLC was Cunning Stunts. From looking at all of the fun that I had with Cunning Stunts and the fun that it has provided in terms of adding to the content creator.
The wackiness, new possibilities with the job creator included have been great, and to this day, the props made available through the DLC are still being used.
For PvP, I loved Smuggler's Run. Before that DLC, the original jets, the Hydra and Laser, completely dominated. There were no other aircraft in the game that you could use to take out those jets. But after Smuggler's Run, you had all those new planes like the Starling, the Pyro, the Seabreeze that offered a variety in air combat that we had never seen before. If you were good in the Starling or Pyro back then, you were pretty much unstoppable at the time.
The amount of content, the something for everyone approach, and somehow having every DLC be different from the previous ones, at least up until recently, and honestly just scratches the surface.
It attached itself to GTA 5, one of the best-selling games of all time, and one of the best games of all time. If GTA Online released by itself day one with the exact amount of content it had then, it wouldn't have gotten anywhere, in my opinion. Okay, maybe that's a little bit harsh, but I guess it has, like, at least at this point, a lot of different varieties of content. You have all those different types of jobs, all the different heists. I think it came out at a good time as well. Like, I don't think if GTA Online released as it is now, like, in today's gaming climate, it would do as well.
The one thing that GTA Online got right is just kept it going. they didn't give up on it. You know, you look at Red Dead Online and they stopped supporting it almost immediately. GTA Online, for better or for worse, has had constant updates. Obviously in the last 5 or so years it's been 2 DLCs every year. I think that is what they absolutely did right, and that's why the game is still as alive and as successful as it is right now.
GTA Online, especially during the middle of its life cycle, did free mode content really well. The amount of stupid things you can do in GTA Online is insane, and it's amazing to see there's still new things being done.
There is so much content to either grind out or just flat out mess around with, doing whatever you want. To me, that's what I've always said is the appeal of GTA Online. You could sell cargo with your friends, you could dogfight in fighter jets, race in F1 cars, go BMX stunting at the skate park, drive 20 Kasatka submarines onto land. All of that could happen in the same free mode lobby if you wanted to, in one of the best video game worlds ever created too.
The amazing feel of the world, the amazing ways to mess around with friends, the process of figuring out a new heist and getting better and better at it and perfecting your strategy over time. And even the fact that there's so many different types of people that can enjoy this game. A racer, a heister, a PvP player, a grinder. No matter what type of person you are, there's a really good chance you'll find something you enjoy in GTA, and that's what makes it so special.
Leaving stuff broken for weeks, months, years, and sometimes not even bother at all. And when it comes to fixing it, it's always the next DLC type of beat. Nowadays, 6 months later. DLCs launching so far apart from each other and thinking that drip feeding a car every week will hold people over for 6 months. For a live service game, GTA Online has definitely left a lot to be desired since 2018.
Using peer-to-peer, making it so modders, hackers, whatever, could just run free reign and ruin stuff for people on PC. I guess arguably the game has just lasted way too long with these drip feed, low effort releases of content. It is a game that is outclassed by a lot of other games that have existed and released within the last 10 years. I think the only reason why it's even popular today is because there's no one really competing in that space of like third person open world shooter crime simulator kind of thing.
What did GTA Online do wrong? How long have we got?
What GTA Online did wrong was really go hard in on the pay to win, in my opinion. The game is so awesome and there's so many really good things about the game that kind of just get ruined by the fact that you can just buy whatever you want if you have money in real life. It makes the awesome cars and properties you save up for just feel way less valuable. If you combine pay to win along with subscribe to win with GTA Plus now, it just feels too much and it just makes it seem like Rockstar really doesn't care what happens to the game. It just seems like they care about how much money they can make.
Rockstar is the worst company that I've ever seen when it comes to communication. For such a rich company, for such a company that has so much influence and makes such great games, you would think that they would have a team of people that would actively communicate with people, talk to people, but they don't. There's developers that aren't even half the size of Rockstar, but yet they have an active team on Twitter that responds to fans. They have community managers that actually talk to people. What's the point of having a community manager if you don't listen to people?
They have gotten a little bit better at this with the past few updates. The game has gotten so many much needed quality of life updates, but we're talking 10 years after the fact now. If it had started out where every update they gave us a bunch of quality of life updates on top of the new content, the game would probably be in a much better shape. It took them like 3 years to nerf the Oppressor Mark II despite everyone complaining about it online. They just don't really talk to the community at all.
I think GTA Online will keep on trucking like it is now with the smaller DLCs until GTA 6 drops, and with the launch of GTA 6's multiplayer, I'm crossing my fingers that Rockstar will leave those 6 months DLC gaps in Los Santos, becomes more proactive with fixing bugs and adding content, and frankly, just starts having a more open dialogue with the community. Because if you're running a live service game with barely saying anything, it's not going to survive in today's gaming climate. People expect more, and Rockstar is just kinda stuck in their old ways sometimes, sadly.
It's hard to tell, but we can look at Reddit Online. Rockstar stopped support and just does monthly events. I reckon as Rockstar is gearing up for GTA 6 release, they will definitely go down a similar route to wind down GTA 5 and GTA Online support?
I don't really see much improvement coming to GTA Online, to be honest, from now till then.
I'm still holding out hope for a DLC involving Michael from single player. The contract DLC with Franklin was one of the best ones, so a DLC with Michael could be just as good in my opinion.
How much more content can they really do? Because when you think about it, there are so many streets and alleys and even buildings they've used in missions and for properties. Rockstar is really running out of room to, put stuff in the game, put new missions, use new interiors. They really don't have that much they can cover with San Andreas anymore in that game.
I do expect it to start afresh, but I also expect it to be an absolute nightmare of grindy mess that, requires so many hours to unlock one vehicle with vehicles that are only available for 1 week and GTA Plus giving you access to everything.
I think that GTA 6 Online is going to launch just like GTA 5. I just really hope it doesn't have as crappy servers, but it's probably going to launch similar to GTA Online, where GTA 6 multiplayer will probably be running a bunch of contact missions, meeting up a bunch of people from the story mode. Maybe they'll have like 1 or 2 heists when the game launches for the online, but don't expect much. Don't expect all these businesses and all these properties that you can buy, because that's stuff that they're going to be adding over time. And when you really think about it, these updates are what makes them a lot of money, so Rockstar does not really have that much of an incentive to make so much content in GTA 6 Online at launch. So I think a lot of people are overhyping on how much content the game can really have.
And I honestly expect further map expansions every year or two. I expect content to come a lot more frequently than it does with GTA Online. And if the rumors of them taking a Fortnite-style approach to GTA 6 Online are true, then honestly, I expect new content every couple of months.
I'm definitely very excited to see what the next game is going to be like though, as I'm sure everyone is. Rockstar has never disappointed me with one of their new game releases.
And then we can finally find out if all the bullshit we've been through for like the last, 5 years was all worth it. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter what Rockstar does, how much they piss people off with bad announcements of like the Red Dead Redemption 1 thing not being a remaster and all that jazz, or not being a remake. It doesn't matter what they do. As long as GTA 6 comes out and it's good, no one will care. Everything will be forgiven.
And I think that's it. I don't have anything more to say.
En nu is het tijd voor een broodje frikandel.
Wait, there's at least another year of this shit? Oh, fuck me!